Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, it looks like Canelo Alvarez is going to be facing JERMALL Charlo and TERENCE Crawford this year, according to the reports, according to ESPN. He's most likely going to fight JERMALL Charlo first and then end up fighting TERENCE Crawford in September. Now, first things first, we knew Canelo Alvarez wasn't going to be fighting David Benavidez, at least not in May. And we know Canelo Alvarez is never going to fight Bivol again to avenge that loss. So it's not that much of a surprise that Canelo wants to fight Charlo, because we know that Canelo Alvarez has a reputation of fighting guys when they come off of their worst performances. And we know when it comes to JERMALL Charlo, his last two performances was his worst. Not to mention he just came off of a 2-year layoff. Now, this is not official, but I'm telling you right now, the way JERMALL Charlo looked in his last fight against Jose Benavidez, not only does he lose to Canelo Alvarez bad, but he also loses to the top 5 super middleweights. At this point, I would even pick Caleb Plant to beat him. Canelo Alvarez, he picked the perfect time to fight JERMALL Charlo. He waited to age JERMALL Charlo out, and that's exactly what he did. This was a fight that was in the making for the last 8 to 10 years. I've been telling you guys this for the longest. When they were both fighting at 160, I was picking JERMALL Charlo to win the fight hands down. Once Canelo had moved up to 168 and Charlo pretty much abandoned boxing and had so much stuff going on outside of his life, I said then it's a 50-50 fight. Now, and after everything we've seen, I believe this is an 80-20 fight in favor of Canelo Alvarez. There's no way a JERMALL Charlo that goes 12 rounds with Jose Benavidez and even allows the fight to be competitive beats Canelo Alvarez. If this fight does go down, it looks like this is going to be his cashing out check. This will be his severance pay. So if things go according to reports, that means Canelo Alvarez, he's going to be fighting against a past his prime, very faded JERMALL Charlo. And then he's going to follow that up by fighting against a welterweight, moving up 3 weight classes. And even though Crawford has a chance of beating the much, much bigger Canelo Alvarez, it's win-win for TERENCE Crawford if he wins the fight, obviously. But when it comes to Canelo, there's going to be a lot of expectations for him to completely obliterate TERENCE Crawford because he's so much smaller. Knock him out. And if he can't do that, then he's going to receive backlash for it. But there's also a good chance that if Canelo doesn't knock out TERENCE Crawford, Crawford's going to end up winning the fight. So even though Canelo Alvarez is most likely going to fight a welterweight moving up 3 weight classes and a super or a middleweight, whatever you want to call JERMALL Charlo, a fighter that is clearly past his prime. And let's face it, if JERMALL Charlo's name was Lomachenko, everyone would be saying that he's old and he's past his prime going into a Canelo Alvarez fight. But since his name is not Lomachenko, fans will have you believe that JERMALL Charlo, now this is the best JERMALL Charlo. Now he's looking good because now fans are prepared to try to give Canelo Alvarez credit for the win. At this point, Canelo beating JERMALL Charlo is like Chavez beating Frankie Randall when they were like in their 50s. And I'm not making this story up. While Frankie Randall actually beat Julio Cesar Chavez twice, back to back. The second fight, he was robbed, and they gave it to Chavez. In another fight where Frankie Randall knocked down Chavez with the same right hand he knocked him down with in the first fight. I almost forgot to tell you guys how Chavez got the win in the rematch. He actually got the win by quitting. He had a cut on the top of his forehead, and I'm talking about way on the top of his forehead. And Chavez, he went over to the doctor and begged the doctors to stop the fight. And that was because he saw he was already losing the fight. So once again, instead of fighting Frankie Randall in the very next fight, making it a rubber match, you know what Chavez decided to do? He waits 10 years, where Frankie Randall was way past his prime by this time. He's nowhere near the same fighter. This is when Chavez decides to fight him again, and he finally beats him. He aged him out, and this is exactly what Canelo Alvarez is trying to do with JERMALL Charlo, if JERMALL Charlo goes through with it. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes,
Fever blisters, diabetic ulcers.
this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com.
Like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.